This is my favorite picture from Y2Y. It's a group of brilliant young people. Some of them are Harvard students, and some of them are guests at Y2Y Shelter for Youth Experiencing Homelessness. And you can't tell who is who. They're all ambitious, vibrant, complex, curious, and they all deserve what so many of us had growing up: a safe place to sleep, trusting relationships, and hope for a bright future. But every night across the country, there is an estimated 3.3 million youth experiencing homelessness. For these young people, home isn't safe, home isn't supportive, or home doesn't exist. That's 1 out of every 10 young adults between the ages of 18 and 24. And what about here in Massachusetts? In 2017, the Commonwealth estimated 24,000 students experiencing homelessness. These are some of our state's most vulnerable residents. 50% have experience in foster care or with the juvenile justice system. 80% are youth of color, and 40% identify as LGBTQ. So if this is you, what are your options? Well, before 2015, there were only 12 shelter beds for young people facing homelessness across Greater Boston. 12. And 1 out of 5 young people chooses to sleep on the street rather than in an adult shelter. This is where the vision for Y2Y was born. My co-founder, Sam Greenberg, and I met while working at the Harvard Square Homeless Shelter, a student-run shelter. Most of our guests were adults, but over and over, younger guests told us that this was the only place they felt safe. Why? It felt personal because we connected as young people. We looked similar, listened to the same music, cared about similar issues. Students bring a fresh perspective on what it takes to run a shelter for youth. We too were growing and changing as young adults alongside our guests, without judgment and with hope. So in 2015, after a lot of learning from experts and community members, we opened Y2Y, the nation's first youth shelter designed by young people and run by college students. Since then, we have nearly tripled the number of beds for young people experiencing homelessness in Greater Boston. Our mission is to create a sanctuary, build pathways out of homelessness, and develop skills for long-term success. We help our guests rest, grow, and lead. We meet guests' basic needs by providing 2 meals a day, showers, laundry, locked storage, and a safe place to sleep. Our space is gender inclusive and trauma informed and provides a respite from the street where young people can recover and build deep relationships with staff and peers. We connect guests to critical resources. We run a full-service medical clinic with Boston Healthcare for the Homeless. Mental health clinicians offer counseling and referrals. Harvard Law students provide legal aid. And our student case managers support guests in job search and housing applications. Y2Y is truly youth-led, by young people, for young people. Guests and staff make decisions about all shelter programming and drive local policy change. For example, here is a photo of our team of students and guests meeting with State Rep Marjorie Decker. And our students run Y2Y operations, including volunteer recruitment, daily programming, and maintenance. This keeps our costs low and also builds future social sector leaders. Our data shows the need for and impact of our work. For every 1 open bed, we receive 10 calls from potential guests. And guests make the most of their time at Y2Y. 70% report leaving Y2Y on a pathway out of homelessness. 30% receive jobs during their stay. And it's not just our guests who benefit. Students stay with us and remain committed to public service upon graduation. 83% of our student staff return year after year to serve. 80% of students say they are more likely to pursue a career in public service because of their time at Y2Y. And we're efficient. Our student staffing model allows us to run at $60 per bed per night compared to upwards of $110 at other shelters. We have ambitious goals over the next 2 years to grow our work within and outside the Commonwealth. To do this work, we seek an investment of $2.1 million. We will add a program manager role in Cambridge and build up our leadership team. We will test growth in new markets by replicating to a second site in New England. Yearly, we will serve up to 300 young people and work with over 350 students. Every night that a young person is homeless increases their risk of chronic homelessness by 2%. While we're here in Cambridge, across the river in Boston, there are 750 young people for whom that 2% matter. So the question is, how will you help end youth homelessness in our community? Come join us, serve a meal, donate old blankets, call your legislators to advocate for better interventions. And who else to tell you about the impact of our work than former guest Krishan, who is here with us tonight?
I feel like God was the peanut butter and Y2Y was the jelly. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be housed, nor have the mindset and the positivity that I have, the job, if it wasn't for everybody at Y2Y being that cheerleader.
Help us make a difference for more people like Krishan. Thank you.